Hey, Distinct, Doug McInnes here. I'm coming with you with a teaching on something that I call attack on knowledge. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5, Paul gives us some instruction and he says this: it's time to kind of cast down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. I want to kind of just help give you a teaching on something so important that the enemy is maybe to help simplify whatever problem you're facing. Simplify does not mean easy. I'm not trying to give you advice here on how to keep things easy, but what I am trying to help you do is realize what the enemy is really after. In this scripture, Paul plainly lays it out. First of all, some of the things that is going on in our minds is actually an imagination. It's not even real. I think one of the first things we should do before we act on any issue that we face is ask yourself, is this a part of my imagination? Or is this something that's really in front of me, that's really trying to come after me? Or am I just kind of jumping to conclusions here? But one of the things I want you to understand that the enemy tries to do, especially with people who are focused on being presence-driven, is he is after your knowledge. He's not after your kids. Most of us, we actually believe that our kids could be working for the devil. I mean, I think sometimes my kids are. But the enemy's not after your kids. He's not after your marriage. What he's after is how you think and what you know about God. I want to encourage you that if anything that comes, the Bible actually says that it's going to try to exalt itself. What does that mean? It means to magnify itself larger than what you believe God is and who God says He is. And so one of the most important things we have to begin to do is realize the enemy is just after whatever it is. If it's an issue with your kids, if it's an issue with your business, if it's an issue with your marriage, one of the things we have to sit down and collect ourselves and begin to remind ourselves the enemy is trying to use this situation against what I know about God and what I believe in who God is. And trust me, this is a principle that I've started taking in my life, is this is an attack on my knowledge. So I want to encourage you today, take some time before you react, before you respond, before you let it go too far in your head. Would you just sit back and take some time and say, is this really trying to affect what I know and believe about God? I just want to kind of just help and give you kind of like a roadmap into how to effectively maneuver in your issues and your problems and realize what the enemy is truly after.